We're going to fight this selfishness with three things, okay? My first thing to fight this is generosity. How do we fight selfishness? By being generous. By being kind to your wife. By being kind to others. By being kind to your kids is the way we're going to fight this selfishness in our lives. Brothers and sisters, this is not just for our marriages. It's for those also that think that they're ready to get married. You know, perhaps at the time I thought, man, I'm ready to get married. Not knowing that marriage takes a lot of work. It's not just, come on, we're going to get an apartment, we're going to live together. No. There's a lot of this going on. There's a lot of headbanging going on. If not just with the kids, brother, with their spouse, with the kids. They wanted their way, you wanted your way. But here's what we need to do. We need to be kind. We need to be generous. We need, brothers and sisters, to be kind to others. My second point of how we're going to fight this, hospitality. We're going to fight selfishness with hospitality. We might say, well, a lot of the time, brothers and sisters, we say, well, this is my home. I pay for the bills. I pay the rent. This is my home. And we ignore one another because the woman makes more money. The man makes more money. It doesn't matter who makes the most money. This is a team, brothers and sisters. This is a team. Who really would allow people to come and visit your home? Who would open up their home and allow people to come to your home? We might say, that's me. I'll allow anybody to come. But reality, brothers, it takes work. You know, at one point in our lives, my mother-in-law's house burned, and they were living with us. As a matter of fact, her grandma, my wife's grandma, was living with us. And that was hard work. This lady was older. So we had, my wife had to change Pampers and whatnot. You know, so it took hard work. And at that point, well, man, we were getting up. We wouldn't even sleep. And it got to the point to where it became a problem to me. And I would fight with my wife, and I would tell her, you know what, man, this is. But then I had to take a step back and say, you know what would Jesus do? Would not Jesus open his house up? He's done it for us. Brothers and sisters, many of us today live in better places. I don't live under a bridge. I live in a better place today because God allowed me to come into his home and dine with him. How beautiful. But many of us do not have hospitality. You know, again, I'm speaking to me this morning. I need a lot of work in my marriage. And how am I going to get there? How am I going to grow old with my wife if these things that I'm talking about exist in my life? How are these things, how are we going to get somewhere when these things continue to arise in our lives? Brothers and sisters, we're never going to, we had a dream, and I hope that we're still there. You know, to where we would grow old and sit down on the recliners next to a fireplace. And, you know, our kids are going to grow up and they're going to go, one day they're going to leave. But who stays at the end? The wife and the husband. How beautiful. That I see many older men and women, and I see them, and they grow. They're holding hands at Walmart, and they're walking everywhere they go, and they're just having a great time. You know, I'm not a very touchy man if you don't know me by now. You know, I'm not a very touchy man with women. But here's my thing. I'm not like that with my wife either. So God needs to work a little bit harder in me. You know, and God is still molding me, brothers and sisters. God is still working in my life. I'm not perfect just because God said one day you're going to be leading a praise and worship. That's Brother Ronnie. Hey, you're going to be preaching somewhere. But that doesn't mean we're perfect, brothers and sisters. That doesn't mean our marriages are perfect. That means we get attacked. I'm telling you, in my home, if my marriage can do this, that's it. So we need hospitality. My third one is serving. Do more for others than for yourself. Brothers and sisters, we do a lot for ourselves. And we don't take into consideration what our spouse needs. We say, whatever. I work an 8-hour job. In reality, 8 hours, brothers and sisters, is nothing. There's people that work 14, 15 hours. You know, but yet, everything is for me. When I get home, my food better be done. And the homework, my kids' homework better be done. And you know, it doesn't work like that, brothers and sisters. We need to serve one another. How are we going to get from point A to point B when this doesn't exist in our lives? When it's all me, me, me. Brothers and sisters, serving is not just our wives. Serving is those that do not know about Christ. Again, this is not a marriage conference. Okay, this is not a marriage conference. But we want to serve our wives. We want to serve our husbands, wives. You know, you don't come home and put your feet on your wife. She's not a recliner. You know, but most of us, man, this is what we expect. You know, I heard one person at work, one co-worker say, oh no, we were coming in at 6 o'clock in the morning. So then, for that, he had to wake up early. So he asked me one time, hey, you don't have no lunch? And I said, no, I can go get some lunch later when I get hungry. He said, oh no, I make my wife get up at 4 in the morning to make me lunch. I said, man, you're crazy, bro. I mean, you know, this man wanted his wife to get up, and he said, and she better get up. Well, then that's perhaps why your marriage is the way it is. You know, we can make it look nice and neat when we're around people, but in reality, when we're home, I guarantee you there's conflict. You know what, brothers and sisters? My wife doesn't want to make me lunch. It doesn't matter to me. I need to lose a couple of pounds. I need to lose a couple of pounds, brothers and sisters. But if she wants to make it, hey, I'm blessed.